Hey guys, Pastor Keith here from Oakdale Baptist Church in Nokesville, Virginia, here with this week's 3-minute sermon where I attempt to give you a recap of what we talked about on Sunday in about 3 minutes. And this past Sunday we talked about James chapter 1 again, and continuing with our series Postcards from James. We talked about James 1:26 to 27, the last two verses of this chapter as we bring this chapter to a close. And James gives us some very practical but hard to hear advice here. And he talks about what pure religion is. Now, religion is a word that we don't really like to talk about in our culture. You know, since the 1800s, religion and the use of religion has been on a downslide. I mean, we don't like talking about religion. We like talking about the relationship that we have with Jesus, but we don't like talking about religion. Now, when James was talking about religion here, he was talking about something that everyone wanted to attain. Everyone wanted to be religious at this time. You know, it was a compliment if someone called you religious back in these days. And so he was saying that if you want to be a really religious person, if you want to know what pure religion looks like, he gave us 3 things. And he said, these are 3 things that you should do in order to make sure your religion is pure. And the first is bridle your tongue. Now, we talked about on Sunday how bridling means taking control of. Now, sometimes when we think of bridling and bridling our tongue specifically, we think that that just means not to speak. That means stopping ourselves from speaking. But it actually means that we guide ourselves into proper speech. You know, bridling is guiding something and leading something. It's not just bringing something to a stop. It's the ability to bring it to a stop if you need to, but it means guiding it in the right direction. So bridling our tongue means knowing when to speak. We can ask ourselves a couple questions. You know, before we speak, is this going to be helpful? Am I saying it in a loving way? And what is the purpose of me speaking in the first place? And if we can answer those 3 questions and still think that we should say what we need to say, then we should do it. We should bridle our tongue, and that's what pure religion is. It is also caring for others. You know, James says, care for the widows and the orphans. But that basically just means care for others. Put others before yourself. Care about their well-being. Spend time with them and love them in the way that they need to be and deserve to be loved as they are made in the image of God. The third thing he tells us is to stay pure, unstained from the world around us. You know, our culture puts all sorts of pressure on us, and our world puts all sorts of pressure on us that we need to act a certain way or say a certain thing or do a certain thing. And, you know, James is telling us that we need to be pure in the way that we do things. You know, that doesn't mean don't touch the world. That doesn't mean don't go out into the world, but it means stay pure. Know exactly what you believe and live it out. That's what pure religion is living out what we believe or what we say that we believe. So I want to challenge you, have that pure religion in your life. If there's a faith that you subscribe to, if you believe that Jesus is the Savior, then live like it and act like it in the way that you bridle your tongue, in the way that you treat others, and in the way that you interact with the world around you. Hope you can join us this coming week as we get into chapter 2 of James in our series Postcards from James.